What's it really like to be retired? I did a video with pros and cons, and then there's reality. I'll post the pros and cons video here in this video, but let's talk about what it's really like after 4 months of being retired. I'm Melinda, and I retired a year and a half ago in May of 2023. I was retired for the summer, which I usually have summers off. I went back to work in the fall. I was asked to be a substitute principal in a neighboring district, not the district that I retired from. And I quickly realized why I retired once I started back to being a principal. I took this job for two reasons. One was that I could get my pension and another principal salary. And the other was I didn't really have a plan when I retired and I wasn't ready. I was devastated and I missed my work family and needed something to buy some time to plan better to be retired. I retired again this past May from being a principal, and I got a little bit restless after a couple of months and started looking for jobs and wondering what I was going to do. In September, I decided that I would substitute teach a few days a week and quit looking for a job. I received a few comments about being disingenuous or clickbaity by saying that I'm retired, but in order to receive a pension, you have to be retired. I've chosen to supplement my income working part-time as a substitute teacher, but a lot of the experiences that I'm going through right now are experiences that a retired person would go through. So let's talk about it. Other than substitute teaching, I've chosen to do this YouTube channel in order to help other people navigate the journey of getting ready to retire, being retired, or deciding to unretire. If this is helpful to you or you want to follow along with my honest and transparent journey, feel free to subscribe to this channel, like it, or share this with other people that you know who are in this season of life and trying to make this big decision. The first thing is I feel like I retired a little bit earlier than I thought it was. I am currently 53 years old and have still probably 20 to 25 years left that I could actually work a job. I didn't retire to travel and I don't feel like I'm missing out. I do want to be available for my kids. My kids, I have one child still at home and then one went to college, and they both still need me way more than I thought that they would. However, there are seasons of life when you decide to retire. There are your go-go retirement years. And these are such weird terms for me because they sound so old. And then go-go is that you have the energy, the physical and mental capacity to just go. Do whatever you want, go wherever you want, travel, do all the things. I feel like I'm completely in that phase. Then there's the slow go years, and that's maybe when physically you start to slow down a little bit, mentally you want to slow down a little bit, and you're not as energetic about traveling, going and doing and go, go, go. Then there's the no-go years when I assume I'll be in my 80s and I just won't be able to go do a lot. I'll be more at home or just more tired and ready to be settled down. Another reality that I'm getting used to is unlimited time. And this is good and this is bad. I have unlimited time to work an extra job to make extra income, or I have unlimited time to do whatever I want. And when I say unlimited time, the reality of that for me is that I do so much better with a structure and a routine. And I also talked about that in my last video. I need a schedule and something to do. But I've also learned that I do need some of those days that I'm relaxing and retired and doing nothing. These past 2 days, I have not substitute taught, and I have needed these 2 days. I have forgotten what it was like to work every day, and I've kind of been doing that the last couple of weeks. I need to choose some more days off than just to substitute all the time, because it's almost Christmas and I need money for Christmas presents. That's why I've chosen to do that. Another reality is budgeting, and will my budget be able to grow as I grow and change as a person in this season of life? It's been 4 months. I've been able to settle in. One thing I've rediscovered is a hobby, and it could be an expensive hobby. I got out all my old planners. I got a calendar to start organizing my day. I mentioned I do better with structure and a plan. And I also kind of wish I would have kept a little bit better track of my life's journey to this point, that I could look back at my planners and look back on. I kind of want to start that again, and that can be expensive. Will my budget be able to handle those types of things if I choose to start doing new things? Again, that goes back to feeling like I retired young and I have so much life ahead of me. There are going to be things that come up that I wonder, will my budget be able to handle those things? And that leads into one of the biggest challenges that I have found over the last 4 months. And I'm going to share that towards the end. And it goes kind of along with budgeting and money and how much you need to retire. I've had to get used to the fact that everyone else is working. I love the fact that everyone else is working when I have errands to run. Running errands in the morning or before 3 o'clock is the best time to get things done. Traffic starts to pick up, the crowds at the grocery store start to pick up, so it's amazing to be able to go before everybody gets off work. But the downside to that is everyone's working during the day, so they're running their errands at night and doing stuff on the weekends, and I'm ready to do things and hang out, and they are busy. My sister-in-law's sister, retired from the military, has a really good pension, didn't see herself going back to work either, and she realized all of her social life was at work. Everybody's at work. She went back to work for the social aspect of it and to get back on the same schedule that other people were on, so that her life was a little bit more fulfilling and she had a little bit more to do rather than sit around and wait for people to get off work. What is actually the definition of being retired? I just did my 3rd video with Taylor DeMars at DeMars Financial, and that'll be up on his channel on the weekend. We talked about that, and he said his definition of retirement is work optional. Right now, I'm choosing optional work in this season of life, and I've narrowed it down to about 3 days a week of substitute teaching being my sweet spot, and creating these YouTube videos as a hobby or a passion project. Each YouTube video takes approximately 4 to 6 hours to film, edit, and all the behind the scenes of a YouTube video. And that's minimum 6 hours. There are some videos when I want to add more whiz bang to them that are going to take a little bit longer. These sit in front of the camera videos don't take as long, and that's nice, and that's why I choose to do these sometimes. But I also want to hone my skills in creating and being a creator. Work optional is kind of the definition of being retired. Let's talk about the positive and negative physical aspect now that I'm no longer working full-time. Now that I'm not working, I don't have to eat on my feet. I don't have to eat fast. I have these all written down. There's less stress eating and drinking. I don't skip meals. There's times that I work all day and I haven't eaten all day, and then I got home and I ate 5 days of calories right after school because I was starving and stressed out. I sleep better. There's less fast food. When I was working and I was in survival mode, fast food was so easy, whether it was for me or for my kids. I don't feel like I'm poisoning my body as much with all the fast food, grease and fried stuff. But then there's also some negative physical side effects of not working, and I feel very sedentary, or I'm not doing 10 to 20,000 steps a day. Even when I'm substitute teaching, I'm not doing 10 to 20,000 steps a day. I need to get back into a workout routine or an exercise routine or get moving more. So there's pros and cons physically in this season of life for me. Mentally, I learned a really valuable lesson the day before yesterday. There are lots of mental changes during this season of life. Day before yesterday was a bucket list day for me. I got to be a substitute high school principal at a very large high school. Large for me. They had 2,000 students. I retired from being a principal and went back to being a principal. I thought that I would enjoy it more than I did. If you have the opportunity when you retire and you're in this phase of why did I retire, should I retire, and you have the opportunity to go back and do what you were doing, I would recommend that. Or at least try to put yourself back in that situation, because then you'll remember why you did. I loved with the kids and I loved the people in the office. It went back to the things I felt when I was a principal. I felt on guard. I felt like I had to be the bad guy. I was stressed. There was suspicion. You're suspicious and you don't trust people. All of those feelings came rushing back, and I didn't like the person that I was when I started having those feelings. Mentally, I just didn't like who I was as a principal. Now that I've stepped away from it, when I substitute teach, I can be the nice guy. I don't have to take work home. If they don't do what I say, I can't force them to do it. I get to talk to the kids. I don't have to dress in principal clothes. I dress nice, but at least I don't have to wear skirts and dress slack. I don't wear my heels. I can actually wear cool high school style shoes. In other words, mentally, I have been able to decompress during this season of life. I still get to have connections in a school environment or in a work environment, but it's not as stressful and mentally draining as it was when I was actually a principal. Having said all of that, 4 months into retirement, I feel like I'm finally able to breathe and I'm finally settling in. But the biggest challenge that I have had in retirement are my unexpected expenses, or the surprise expenses that come up that you don't see coming. One was dental, and I had some dental stuff come up. The next is car yesterday, and this is stuff that I've always done. I just didn't put it in my budget, which I'm working on. Yesterday, I had my car maintenance, and that was $300. Home projects or things that happen in the home that I know it's coming, and I'm working really hard to save up for that. What have been some of your epiphanies or the reality of your retirement? Put that in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.